The Chillguy token is doing exactly what the name implies. It's just chilling around. For the last week we've seen zero price action, but 2 weeks ago the price was rallying massively. What's going on here? Will we see another rally? Let's have a look at the on-chain metrics most people aren't considering. Let's have a look at the buyers and sellers of the token. So here is what I'm talking about. We are currently at 50 cents and we had been at pretty much the exact same level 8 days ago. Why did Chillguy run out of steam after it went up by more than 260,000%? This is somewhat surprising because we do have news around the token. For example, over here we've got BitGet listing the token, and we even now have Binance offering perpetual futures on the token. And this news came out yesterday, yet the price stands still. What is going on? Now, this channel approaches analysis a bit different to most other crypto channels. Most people just look at price charts, right? They draw random lines on price charts. They see there's a support, here's a resistance, this is a trading range, etc. But nobody looks behind that price action. What's actually driving a rally? What's actually driving standstill or potentially a sell-off? And so here we look at what's actually happening under the hood. Because that's the beauty of the blockchain. We can directly look at the transactions, we can look at the number of wallets, we can look at transaction volumes, etc. Something we do not have available for traditional finance like the stock market. And what we see over here in those two charts is the number of first-time traders versus recurring traders per day. So the first-time traders are in purple, the recurring traders are in orange. And we see nicely how initially this momentum built up. As in, the number of first-time traders was always larger than the number of recurring traders. And that tended to be even by a multiple X. We then saw a peak on the 20th of November. Yet still on most days we saw the number of first-time traders being higher than the number of recurring traders. This has changed yesterday. Yesterday was the very first time where there were more traders that already owned the token that were buying and selling compared to new traders coming in. Now, why does this matter? It matters because for a price to go up, we need to see the investor base growing, right? We need to see more and more people coming into a token. If those new people stop coming, then the price has a hard time appreciating as well. Now let's have a look at this 20th of November. That was over here. That was pretty much when the price peaked. And since then, we tend to go sideways. Now what we see here on the right is the number of token transactions per day. And that tends to be somewhat delayed. Usually it peaks maybe 1 or 2 days after the number of first-time traders peaks. And that's also what we can observe over here. The number of token transactions peaked 1 day afterwards on the 21st of November. Now, not everybody just looks at price data, right? Some people also look at trading volume, as in how many tokens get traded on a particular period of time. It is a useful indicator, but we can refine this further. So most people just look at this over here. And whenever trading volume spikes, this is also an indication that attention spikes. And sometimes when the trading volume comes down, the price also tends to go down. This is not true for the Chillguy token because probably the centralized exchanges bought up some of the tokens for their market making. But if there's no such thing as an upcoming listing, usually when trading volume goes down, prices tend to decline. And so this is usually how most people look at this. This is all the information that get considered. But have a look at this. This is again the trading volume, this time on the left side in US dollars, on the right side normalized to 100% per day. But there is a twist to this. We are segmenting the trading volume by wallet size. So small retail is all the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token. Medium-sized retail is up to $10,000. Large retail is up to $100,000, and whales is above $100,000. Now have a look at the small retail trading. Yes, the trading volume spiked at the same time as the rest of the market, but it came down much slower. In other words, small retail tends to be not as reactive as the larger wallets. Compare this with medium-sized retail, that's way more aggressive. And for large retail, it's even more pronounced. We can also see that over time, the fraction of trading volume done by retail tends to rather decline. It doesn't decline in the last week anymore, where there's no more price action, but it definitely did decline during the rally. And so there are several indications that the price is currently staying stable because the centralized exchanges bought or are still buying the token. The on-chain investor that bought the token before the centralized exchange listing tends to rather now offload. And that's true for the small retail investor. It's also true for the whale. So this is the number of wallets over time, and we've got different holding thresholds to distinguish what is a retail investor and what is a whale investor. And those thresholds are 2,000 tokens, 20,000 tokens and 200,000 tokens. And so since the price is currently at roughly 50 cents, this equates to a minimum holding of $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. And again, we see how the number of holders tends to rather decline. The price, however, is not declining. And so currently Gate.io is dominating the price discovery on the spot market. This is where most trading volume happens. Afterwards we've got Radium, so this is still trading on chain, and then we've got Bybit. The trading volume in the futures market, especially on Binance, is way larger than that though. So this is bets on the price, those are derivatives, those are levered instruments. And the more trading volume happens here, the more money Binance makes. And so what's the theoretical upside here? Chillguy is currently at a market cap of roughly $500 million. The largest of the Pump.fun ecosystem tokens is at 1.1 billion, so that would imply a maximum upside of maybe 2x. But if you're going outside of the Pump.fun ecosystem, of course there's way larger meme coins as well. A 4x would bring it close to Floki Ino, a 6x close to Dog with Head, and with a 7x, Chillguy would beat the largest of the tokens on the Solana blockchain, which is Bonk. So that's probably the absolute upper ceiling. That's $3.50 right now, roughly. And so here's what I think will happen with the Chillguy token. The centralized exchanges have an incentive to create volatility here. They bought more and more of the token. They also offer now perpetual futures. And so they're likely going to manipulate the price in both directions. This might be a sudden crash out of nothing. This might be a sudden rally. Both is possible. But volatility is likely going to increase, and attention will increase with that as well. Now here's a very interesting recent development. You very likely do not have access to this kind of chart. This here shows how much advertisers on my YouTube channel pay for 1,000 views of their ads. And it suddenly, out of nothing, spiked to roughly double of what it used to be. In other words, crypto projects, centralized exchanges, etc., they are now competing for advertising space in the crypto scene. And it's not just money that's flowing into advertising for crypto. There's also simply fiat money that's flowing into the space as a whole. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise, and it's recently even accelerating. So since October of last year, we see money flowing into crypto again. That of course causes a lot of crypto asset prices to go up. And especially in the recent days, since beginning of the month, we also see the altcoins going up in aggregate. So what we have over here is the others dominance. This is how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10. That went up by roughly 20% in the last month. And so pretty much everything is now going up. The art in crypto trading though is to buy early, right? It's to buy when the prices are still low. So for example, over here, the Chillguy token, it's now at 50 cents. But I made a video on Chillguy when it was still at 20 cents. And I hope a lot of you made money with that video because it was a quite popular one. And so this is the real art, right? We have to get into tokens when momentum is bullish and when there's still enough upside potential. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about discussing tokens that a lot of people don't yet have on their radar. So feel free to subscribe. Now, how can I find tokens like Chillguy early? Or how can I find things like the GOAT token or the ACT token early? Those are one of the largest Pump.fun ecosystem tokens. This is a wallet tracking alert. How Kyle Chessy bought the GOAT token for 14 cents. That was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 500%. Temporarily, it was up by more than 800%. Who's Kyle Chessy? It's this influencer over here. He's got 137,000 subscribers, and he tends to be relatively early on trending tokens. And so here is how that works. We use on-chain analytics again to figure out who is owning what wallet. It's not a very easy task, but we've got an entire community that just focuses on that single task. Find wallets that are very useful, of insiders, of top traders, of influencers. Let's find those wallets and then track them. So over here, we've got the wallets that we track by Kyle Chessy. We've got 12 in total. Well, let's talk about the ACT token. Here's our signal for ACT. Crypto Banter bought the ACT token at 3.7 cents. Now it's at 58 cents. So an increase of 1,500% since that signal. And of course, temporarily, the gain was even higher, more than 2,000%. Now, where do crazy gains like this come from? They come from attention. They come from a lot of eyeballs getting into one single token. And so here are those eyeballs. This is the Crypto Banter channel. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about the token, of course the token has to go up. And so we've got 33 of Crypto Banter's wallets. And so really, I think this is the better approach compared to just drawing random lines on price charts. I think it's better to follow the smart money. It's better to follow the insiders. It's better to simply copy trade the people that tend to make money in crypto. And I like this approach that much that I made a dedicated tutorial course just on this. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track those wallets? And how can we subsequently also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's 8 videos in total. It's all part of Premium, so that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking, it's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about portfolio diversification, risk management, indicator backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we get our wallet signals, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare the on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like Premium, in case you don't learn anything, simply just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so does it make sense to buy the Chillguy token now? I believe that the manipulation by the centralized exchanges will increase. Thus, it's very hard to predict what's actually going to happen. Whatever price movement is going to happen will be some kind of manipulation. If we suddenly see a rally out of nothing with zero news, then a lot of people might be betting on falling prices. If that happens, it might make sense to look at the perpetual futures funding rates. If the funding rates turn deeply positive and it costs a lot of money to long the token, to bet on rising prices, then the token might crash, right? Because the centralized exchanges earn money from liquidation fees. If the funding rates turn negative and everybody bets on falling prices, we might see a short squeeze. So this is becoming increasingly a game of looking at what's happening with the centralized exchange data, not necessarily anymore what happens on-chain, because the ownership is now gradually moving to the centralized exchanges and they dictate where the price is going. It's kind of like you are the sports betting house, you offer bets on an outcome of a football game, for example, but at the same time you have an impact on how the game will end. You have bought the referee. That's pretty much what's currently happening with Chillguy. There is an offering on the bets of the price, right, the perpetual futures contracts, but at the same time those centralized exchanges also own a lot of the token and they can dictate where the price is going. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in Premium. Cheers!